Hi guys, Sanji Bell with HerballyHipTarot. How's my Herbally Hip tribe doing out there? This is for entertainment purposes only, and everything we say here is allegedly. All right, before we get into the mess, if you could subscribe to my channel, hit the bell twice, give me a thumbs up, because I think you're going to like it here. Also, if you could go join my other channel called My Fairy Treasures, just in case anything happens to this channel, we can pop over to that channel, okay? Let's get into the mess. There's a lot of mess. Like in any Orange Menace's presidency, it's a mess every day. Okay, it's always a mess. Okay, these are some interesting things about this Charlie Kirk. I want to do an open read about Charlie Kirk being unalived, and I was talking with someone yesterday, and just a second. And we both had said, I would not put it past the Orange Menace to have unalived somebody. Now, I'm saying this allegedly. We're going to do a reading on it. I would not be surprised to get us off the Epstein stuff. And if you think that that's that, and I was almost afraid to read on it because I was thinking, am I going to get myself in trouble or people going to yell at me about this? You guys are already talking about it in the chat. So I'm like, okay, we're not the only ones thinking it. And it sounds crazy, but so does a 34-count felon / rape sexual assaulter as your president. Impeached twice. I could go on. Grab him by the pee. I mean, he's been convicted of sexual assault. So if you'll do all those things, you don't care. You'll do anything. Now, it can't be directly, as far as what I've known, it can't be directly the Orange Menace because he's here still, but that ain't him, okay? So it's his administration making decisions like that. And they support him. They're like him, okay? They'll do anything to stay in power. Okay, and also, why is the red team saying that Kirk's unaliving means the Democrats want war? Someone had put it like this. They said most of the shootings have been the Republicans shooting people. Even supposedly when the Orange Menace got shot last year, it was a MAGA going against him. Pelosi, that was MAGA. January 6th, MAGA. I mean, there's just so many ones. Most of them are MAGA. So what are you talking about? We could say that about you guys. Anyway, I want to do an open read on that. Okay, let's find out what cards we should use. Clear. Spirit, open read about Charlie Kirk being unalived. Should I use true crime? Okay, the fact that I should use true crime tells you a whole lot already. Clear. Spirit, why is the red team saying that Kirk's unaliving means Dems want war? Should I use true crime? Yes. So we're going to use true crime for both. Just 1 second. All right. Let me shuffle true crime, and I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, and before I get started with this reading, I do have to say this. My husband had shown me, because on the news, they show him sitting there, but they don't show the actual shooting. My husband, anywhere online, you can see it. Go on YouTube, you can see the actual shooting if you want. He showed it to me, and I was like, I'm horrified. Okay. I don't like Charlie Kirk. I don't believe anything he has to say. I think he's a racist. I think he's a white nationalist. On and on, okay? I can't stand the fool. But I would never wish this upon anyone. What I saw was disgustingly horrible. They shot him in the neck. Whoever did that shot him in the neck, and the blood came shooting out. And I won't go any further, but I never seen nothing like that. That was disgustingly horrific. And I do have one more thing to say. They're showing this young kid who looked like maybe 20 years old. No, I don't believe that was him. I don't believe that's the shooter. Okay, this dude, this was shot, they say, from 500 feet. You got to be a professional. And as soon as I heard the 500 feet, I said, you got to be a marksman. You got to be a professional shooter, okay? No 21-year-old or 20-year-old is no professional marksman. So is this kid being held up as a patsy to put the blame on? All right. Let's do this now. So I'm just going to do an open read on Charlie Kirk's being unalived. Let's see what the cards have to say. There was a meeting about this. What do you mean there was a meeting about this? This was planned? See, this already isn't looking good. If this was an inside job, there was meetings. Of course there's hidden things. All right, what's with the female energy? Was there a female involved in this planning? Starting with a B? We'll ask. Yeah. I say cover up, because why would you need to do, looks like they want to do cleanup. Which is another question I have. Why is Charlie Kirk's body being flown on Air Force One? I'm going to do a reading on that. It'll be one of my last readings. Was it last week or the week before? We just had little babies, little children being shot in that church. Bodies weren't flown on Air Force One. Oh, and Vance went to go visit the family right away. Vance didn't go visit the family of those poor little children. And those were children. Innocent children. So, I think they're performing cleanup to try to make sure that this inside job does not get busted. They always, and the reason I think that they're doing this, like you guys said in the chat, was to get us off the Epstein thing. It's a diversion to get us off the Epstein. What the hell? That's a hell of a diversion. We're dealing with, these people are crazy. These people are crazy. There's surveillance, investigations, all that going on. I think that means more of a cover-up. So now, they have to, if this reading comes out like how I think it is, they're trying to cover up the Epstein stuff, and they're trying to cover the Epstein stuff with unaliving somebody? All right, there's a debt owed to someone or money. Not sure about that one. And a faked death. Okay, this is weird. Let me tell you something I thought yesterday. When I saw my husband showed me the actual shooting, when they shot him in the neck, it was so graphic, and it was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. It was so graphic and so disgusting, the way that when he shot, the way the blood protruded out of his neck. I'm sorry to say it like this, you guys. It almost looked fake. I was always like, that looked almost fake, honey. It was done. It was just so. And for them to say that 20-year-old is the one who shot him, one bullet, 500 feet away, 20-something years old, early 20s. What's with the fake death? I'm not sure. I'll ask. Look, I said this inside job, and look what card came up. Inside job. And look at the energy. Dark, demon-like, devil-like. I can't believe that. And I was wondering, when I did this reading, I said, I bet I'm going to be using true crime, and I wonder if that inside job card comes up. Someone's going to be left out in the desert. Okay, I have two things. This inside job was done. Look at this. These are I always say landfill. These are all the votes that were thrown away in the trash, or just, thrown in the trash, zapped away, whatever. They were trashed, right? The inside job was done, so we forget about the stolen election. The Orange Menace is seeing that we're talking about the stolen election all over, and also drugs and poisoning. They did this to a lot of the little girls that they raped. They want us to forget about the Epstein stuff, and they want us to forget about the stolen election. All right, let's do some. Remember, everything I say here is allegedly. Alexa. I meant to say spirit.
Here's what I found.
See, and then she'll start looking for stuff. Just a second, guys. Because if I keep talking before she clears out, she'll keep answering. So just 1 second. Okay. Sometimes I say, instead of saying spirit. I don't know what the hell my problem is. Anyway, I'm sure that wasn't the first time that I've done this. Said her name instead of spirit. Anyway, clear. Spirit. Was Charlie, is it Kirk? Yeah. Clear. Spirit. Is Charlie Kirk's assassination, was it an inside job? Oh my God. Look at this. Yes. Clear. Spirit. Was his death faked? No. Clear. Spirit. Is Charlie Kirk really dead? Yes. Okay. I think they just released the photos of Charlie Kirk's assassinator. Supposedly his assassinator. Like I said, I don't believe a 20-year-old, not maybe 20-year-olds are professional shooters that could shoot from 500 feet. One shot. That is a professional hitman. Anyway, let me keep going. Clear. Spirit, were there meetings about this inside job of Charlie Kirk's assassination? Yes. Clear. Spirit, are they trying to divert attention from Epstein files and the stolen election? Is that why this was done? Yes. Clear. Spirit, the female energy, is that Bondi? No. Okay, clear. Spirit, is the female energy, is that the Epstein files? The molesting of underage girls? Yes. Okay. Clear. Spirit, are we going to find out that this was an inside job? Is this going to come out? This is saying yes. At least energy right now is saying yes. This is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. Clear. Spirit, are there people in the FBI who feel that this is a inside job? That yes. Clear. Spirit, are there people in the CIA that think this is an inside job? Clear. Sorry. Clear. Spirit, are there people in the CIA who think this is an inside job? Yes. I have a couple other questions. Clear. Spirit, does KAMALA think this was an inside job? Yes. Clear. Spirit, does Walls think this is an inside job? Clear. Spirit, does Obama and Biden think this was an inside job? And as soon as this happened, the person I was talking to, we both said it basically at the same time. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, I need to shuffle. These and read the next question, which is what? Why is the red team saying the unaliving Kirk's that Charlie Kirk's unaliving means Dems want war. Let me shuffle right back. Okay, so this one's going to be about why is the red team saying that Kirk's unaliving means Dems want war? When most of the killings or mass murders have actually been done by the red team, by Republicans. Family, look at the little child. They're saying it because they're in on this whole thing. They want to keep us from talking anymore about Epstein. Money involved. Drugs and poison. Were the Epstein girls, a lot of them were drugged or poisoned. Drugged. Somebody's going to be left out in the desert. Female energy. This were the little girls who were sexually assaulted by Epstein and the Orange Menace and all the other men, allegedly. Also, it was about the stolen votes. The votes they threw away, the votes they trashed, zapped, however they got rid of them. People are trying to get us to stop talking about the stolen election and about Epstein. This is why they're trying to pit this war, because they can see that even MAGA is starting to join the Dems. MAGA is starting to say, so it looks like you're a pedophile. It looks like you stole the election. You're screwing us over. They're trying to divide us. They see us coming together, and the thing that works for them is to separate and divide us to win the war. Yeah, Mr. Alive, Mr. Epstein. That's we've always gotten that he's alive. Yeah, so he's been left out in the desert. He's been hidden somewhere. This is Orange Menace and Epstein. And what's right above them? Females that they both sexually assaulted. Allegedly. I believe that the Republicans are feeling trapped, which is why they're behaving like this. They feel trapped by the Epstein files, and they feel trapped by the stolen election. So they created what? A disaster. And it wasn't a natural disaster. It was a man-made disaster. But this is what they created. A disaster to get us off of the Epstein and the stolen election. Oh my God, look at this right next to it. I never get these two together, right by each other. They want to let us know they were creating a disaster. We got man-made disaster, natural disaster, not the natural, but a disaster. So we got two disaster cards right now. This was a man-made created disaster, and they did it to keep us off of the Epstein stuff and the Epstein files and the stolen election. And they could see they needed to divide us. They could see that we're starting to come together. I did a reading on this. I said, are the Epstein files going to bring America together? And it said yes. And they can see us coming together, and they want to divide us. That's why they're doing it. Disgusting. Let's just ask again real quick. Clear, Spirit. Is the red team saying the Dems want to go to war because that's a way to divide us? They see us coming together with the Epstein files. Yes. Clear, Spirit. Was Charlie Kirk's unaliving, was it an inside job? Yep. It's exactly what came to me and came to the person I was talking to yesterday. And you guys are right too, allegedly, in the comments. Absolutely crazy. Insane. that they would go to these extremes to avoid. But you know what? I was, let me talk about this real quick. I was watching, there's so many survivors, Epstein survivors, who are talking, okay, all over to all of the independent medias. And this girl said, you don't understand how deep this is. This is how deep it is. This is why this has gone on for over 20 years. Probably, maybe hundreds of years, but definitely over the last 20 years with this situation, with these set of men. She said, Epstein introduced a lot of people to their wives, to their husbands. Some people are Hollywood stars right now because of Epstein, who he introduced them to. And then they had to pay for it through getting sexually assaulted. Actresses, singers, politicians, people have been blackmailed. It's just so, she goes, it's like roots underground, and they're like this, all tangled, and it's deep. That's insane. All right, you guys, that's it for this one. I got a couple more readings today. They're going to be really good. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you give this video a thumbs up, comments or questions, leave them below. Anything you want me to read on, leave that below. Make sure you join my other channel, My Fairy Treasures. Love, peace, and happiness, and I will talk to you guys in my next video coming up shortly. Toodaloo.